What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekly astrology forecast for the week of January 25th through the 31st of 2021. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. If you're looking for daily horoscopes, weekly horoscopes, please do become a member on the website. I also have the weekly tarot show, as well as this show, and more. And I'm hoping to expand talent on the website. I'm hoping to expand a lot more things. So please do become a member. Join me over there. It's only $5 a month, and you get a lot of content for that $5. But this is an intense week in the astrology. We're going to have that sun move off of Saturn, which is a heavy time. Sun-Saturn is definitely putting new responsibilities and kind of defining the next year of what we want to go do, what we want to accomplish. And it can feel like a lot. It can feel like the lead of the weight of the world is weighing on us. And we have to figure out, kind of narrow that down and look in different areas with Aquarius. It could be different or unique goals or achievements that we're looking to accomplish that maybe we've never accomplished before. That sun's going to meet up with Jupiter this week in Aquarius. And that's a positive time. So we're going to get this Sun-Jupiter connection that is going to show us new ways. That is going to show us new hopes and ideals and ways forward. And we might have our beliefs shifted in a way that shows us the abundance. And I think we've all been waiting for a gift. And now that we have Jupiter out of Capricorn, we can definitely see new exciting aspects of what the world has to offer. And they might just come in different ways. They might not be necessarily the gifts we were expecting, but the gifts can come. And I think that the more open we can be to that, the better. But with this Mars here in Taurus coming off Uranus, we're really going in completely different directions for what our values are. And values are shifting left and right. And we might be even trying to hold on to them, or things might be coming slower than we're used to. But with the sun really squaring that Mars all week, with Jupiter squaring Mars, we're having to take action for what we believe in. And those beliefs can be different, and they can be shifting, and that's okay. And it's good to make sure that you're in your own individuated beliefs, and that you let other people have those beliefs too, and connect to the people that maybe see it your way, or not force your beliefs. This could be a time where beliefs are being forced upon individuals in a very certain kind of way, especially when you look at the way the world is right now. And you have to be able to define your own beliefs right now. You have to be able to really take action for the things in life that you truly value, that you want to manifest, that bring you self-worth within yourself. And not so much just what other people define your worth as, but what you truly define your worth as. And that's very important this week. And with the moon that we're getting, the full moon on Thursday, that's a big deal. And we're having a Mercury retrograde. I mean, this is one of the heaviest weeks of astrology I've ever seen. And it's totally like uncharted territory. And I think also when we look at this sun that's going to be squaring Mars, we're having to really identify with what we want to move forward into, where we want to switch things up and make things better. And I think we're all going to be kind of trying to force fix something in our life. Or we're going to have this notion put on us that we have to force fix something that maybe we don't even value. And that's where it gets difficult, because we have to define what we value as individuals this week and what's bringing us into a sense of freedom with a lot of Aquarian energy. Aquarius wants to be free and united, but free. It doesn't necessarily want to just go about things the normal standard way. It's a little different. We look at Uranus, which is a ruler of Aquarius. It's tilted at a 98-degree angle. So it is the people, right? 98 degrees. That's the same temperature as humans. So it is very much about the human, but it's about being unique in our individuality and going out on that adventure. And I think we have to define our own individuality. We have to define our own uniqueness this week. And it feels like it's going to be forced upon us in some way or another. But there's transformations taking place. There's no doubt about that. Venus is going to cross over Pluto this week in Capricorn. So relationships are getting a transformation. And where Venus and Pluto are going to meet at 25 degrees, we've never seen Pluto at 25 degrees like we're going to start seeing. So this is more uncharted territory that we're all experiencing. And it's about the relationships, and it's about the stability, and it's about being able to manifest our goals and like really find what we value and go after that. But there's a sense of responsibility to it, and almost like the responsibility is to be able to shift and transform with the way the world is for what you want to define as your own personal being, your own personal self, your own individual self, and connect with people that want to go on that journey with you. I think that's very important. It's interesting too, at 26 degrees of Capricorn, we're going to see Pluto retrograde. So we're close to that point, which is 1 degree away from the Pluto return for the United States. I mean, we are in major transformative times. And remember, the lunar cycle that we're in right now was a new moon in Capricorn at 24 degrees. It was at 23 degrees, Pluto at 24 degrees. So we're in this transformative month, this lunar cycle here, where we could see major things take place and transform in our reality. And we have to be able to detach and let go of the old and embrace the new, but embrace the new from a sense of your own individuality, your own environment, what's stimulating you, what can you switch up. And as that moon transits through Cancer this week, to start the week, we're going to get oppositions to that Pluto. We're going to get oppositions to Venus in Capricorn. So we're definitely looking emotionally at our relationships and seeing what makes us feel secure within ourselves, what makes us feel at home. But more so, those quincunxes over to Saturn, to the Sun, Jupiter, Mercury, these are going to be big tests, and we're going to be feeling like we're guided in some weird direction to find our own security, to find our own individuality, and it's almost like we're going to be having to disconnect from certain aspects that don't make us feel at home, that don't make us feel like truly unique in ourselves. And that's going to feel interesting, but what's even more interesting is while we're having this Sun, Jupiter, square Mars in Taurus, we're going to have that moon come into Leo and bring some fire into the chart, which is good. And it's that opposite sign, of course, of Aquarius. So we want to emotionally connect to that love. But it's going to square over to Uranus. It's going to square over to Mars and make a big T-square to Mars for that full moon on Thursday. So we're definitely being asked to emotionally let go of what values in life don't define our heart, don't define our love, and how we're able to express that. It can be a cold time with so much Aquarius energy, so many planets in Aquarius. And we're going to see more Aquarius in the chart coming into next week than we've seen since 1962. So we're redefining our individuality. We're redefining our values. And it's going to be difficult. People are going to be, there's going to be arguments. There's going to be people forcing beliefs, forcing values onto you. And you have to kind of come back to your own heart and your own self-worth and your own value of how you can manifest and how you can get through these times and how we can release what isn't of value and what isn't of the heart so that we can move into a new direction and connect ultimately to the heart. But we might have to be more objective with all this Aquarian energy. We might have to be more heady. But we still want to find a balance here when it comes to what we truly love and what we truly want to create. And I think that there's a lot of important lessons here as things are transforming around us. And this is a week where we're going to probably feel it more. Last week, a lot went down, but it was kind of slow and sluggish, where this week I think we're going to see more big things take place in the world that are unique and different that we weren't expecting. And how are those going to affect and define our values and our heart space? And those are questions we have to ask ourselves. And as this week finishes off, we're going to get a Mercury retrograde on Saturday in Aquarius. So we're really going to be internalizing how we look at ourselves, how we individuate, what we want to fix in life. And I think that it's important to realize that you don't have to fix anything outside of yourself right now. With that North Node in Gemini, with Neptune squaring these nodes heavily this week, exact this week, we can feel very lost. How can we objectify and internalize the path that we want to take that's going to show us something new, something exciting, something different? And I think it's going to feel like we can't go in that direction, or we can't be truly free to have what we want or have what we value. But that's going to be a test. And I think we're going through a big test as a collective, is if we can push forward with our own value, or if we're just going to be stuck in a place where we just have to do what we're told over and over and over again, take on the values of the world instead of your own individual values. And how do we liberate from that? And how do we liberate from the heart? And how do we mentally understand the foreign energy of this new, we've never lived through energy like this. So it's a foreign energy that we're feeling, and we have to understand it. And I think we really have to internalize that and ask ourselves, how are we going to innovate through these times? And I think that can be difficult. But I think it's not something that's out of the question. It's just, this is a week to define what you truly value and what you want to create and make it happen for yourself. As we close off the week, we're going to have that moon in Virgo, and it's going to oppose Neptune and square the nodes. So it just gets a little weird with a Mercury retrograde too. We're getting these big hints, I think, in directions that we want to go from spirit, from the universe, but it's hard to objectify the truths. I think that's the biggest spell right now, is that there's so many different truths being projected, so many different beliefs, and so many different splits of the belief, of the truth, and you can't go out and find that right now. You can't go out and find exactly what's true on either side of the spectrum. You have to internally know your truth, your individual truth that Spirit's guiding you towards, and you kind of have to trust and find that stability and make that your reality, and make those routines kind of fit into your life that you can value, that you can take action for, that you can go after. And it's going to be a big test. This is a big test week that we have to go through, and we're going to have to define. We're going to have to take really big action with that T-square to Mars on that full moon, of internally realizing what we want to value, where we want to put our heart, and ultimately what we want to connect to, and what we need to disconnect to move forward as individuals, to move forward with the passion, the love, and really the creative spirit to still make this world great in a time where it might not feel like we can make much happen right now, or we can go out and make many things great, or that we're feeling very stuck or in quicksand. And it's going to be a test. So how are we going to get through that? We'll have to find out. But ultimately, defining yourself through what you can build and be confident with is going to be a big door to opening up the abundance and the gifts that Jupiter and the Sun can ultimately offer. But it's going to come with tension. It's going to come with upset. This could be a week where you could definitely be upset or forced into trying to define a reality for yourself that you're being told to define by something outside of yourself, especially with Neptune semi-square Saturn and even semi-square Uranus. There's this heavy Neptunian energy right now, making it feel like your values or the structures that you want to move into, or your hopes and ideals, are but an illusion, and that you have to go just one certain way. But it's not a linear time anymore. I'm going to tell you that right now. As much as the reality base wants you to think that linear it's just this way, that way, it's not. And you're going to have to define that for yourself. And that's the gift, is stepping into a more quantum understanding, a more non-linear way of valuing yourself and valuing what you want to create. And that might be the ultimate gift that we get this week. And I do love you all very much, and I hope you have a great week. I hope that it works out the best for you. I hope to see you on the website. I have the charts up there for the dailies, the weeklies, weekly tarot, more content coming soon. So I do hope to see you there. If not, I will see you here next week for possibly maybe another show that I might do. We'll see. I'll pop in and out when I can. But I'm sending you all my best, sending you all my love, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.